I asked for a sign, not for fortune, not for revenge, just clarity, a direction in the fog. That's what I whispered before I dozed off, curling into the afternoon warmth on my couch. My mouth still formed the words, "Give me a dream that shows me what I need to know." I remember looking out the window one last time. Clouds like old cotton drifted past the sun. I must have fallen asleep around 2 p.m. What followed wasn't sleep. It was a descent. I found myself walking along a stretch of dry, cracked pavement that somehow resembled the alley behind my apartment, only longer and older. My feet made no sound against the ground. I knew it was a dream the way you know when something is burning, but it didn't feel like a dream. It felt like being shown. Something like a hand was holding my face towards something I didn't want to see. That's when I heard her. My neighbor, Mrs. Elaine from 2 doors down, appeared from a side entrance I'd never seen before. She looked distorted, like someone walking behind rippling heat. In her arms, she held something pale, long, and crumbling. I thought it was driftwood until it hit the concrete with a sharp, brittle clack. It was a skeleton. She threw it so hard that the bones scattered in every direction. And then she screamed at me, face twisted, mouth stretched unnaturally wide. "Why did you do this to me?" The air folded. The sky seemed to tremble. I could feel her words inside my chest cavity like a second heartbeat. I tried to say something, anything, but my mouth wouldn't open. My hands felt wet. When I looked down, they were covered in soot and blood. I turned and ran. No, glided. Like my feet weren't even touching the ground anymore. I passed by rusted mailboxes and doors with no numbers on them. When I reached a rusted red lawn chair in the middle of the road, I sat. It felt like I had no choice but to sit there, as if it was part of the story and I was just a character in it. Then he appeared. My boyfriend. The one I had been doubting lately. The one whose texts had gone dry. He stepped into the frame of the dream like an actor hitting his mark. No expression, no words. Just a kiss. He leaned down and kissed me. It felt warm, familiar, the way the ocean feels when it touches your toes, pulling at something inside you. But there was something off. His eyes never blinked. His body never moved except for his lips. And then I noticed it. Behind him, just past the distance of reason, stood the skeleton. Fully formed again. This time, it wasn't on the ground. It was standing upright, watching us. Its hollow sockets didn't blink, didn't move, but I could feel it stare. The longer I looked, the more I realized it wasn't a stranger's bones. It wore something, small trinkets, familiar to me. A necklace I lost years ago. A ring I buried in the woods during a breakup. Pieces of my past draped on bones like ornaments. The skeleton was me. I woke with a gasp. Afternoon sunlight still spilled across the room, but it had lost all warmth. My mouth was dry. My palms were still damp with sweat. And someone was outside. I heard the rustle of leaves. I stood, heart thudding, and walked toward the window. Mrs. Elaine stood across the street, still as stone, looking up at my window. We didn't move. Neither of us waved. She just watched me like she had heard everything. The screaming, the kiss, the whisper. "Why did you do this to me?" Still echoed in my skull like a drumbeat. That night, I didn't sleep. And the next day, when I tried to visit her apartment to see if maybe she needed something, it was empty. She'd moved out 2 months ago. Her son said she passed away during a nap at 2 p.m. In that chair, she always sat near her window. She died with her eyes open. And now, when I sleep, I feel the kiss again. Not from love, but from something wearing his shape. I wake every night with the faint taste of soil on my tongue. Something about that dream crossed over. I asked for a dream that would reveal the truth to me. And I got it. Now all I can ask is, what part of me died to make it real? I started writing down everything I could remember. The sidewalk, the chair, the blood on my hands. Every detail burned into me like a brand. But even as I wrote, my handwriting began to change. Halfway down the page, the loops and lines didn't look like mine anymore. 3 nights later, I heard a knock. It was soft, deliberate. 3 slow taps. I checked the door. No one. But when I looked down, a small pile of bones sat on the mat, tiny and bird-like, strung together with twine. No note. Just a whisper that drifted through the hall as I shut the door. Forgive me. I didn't tell anyone. Because that's when the dreams returned. Only now I wasn't asleep. I would slip. For seconds. Sometimes minutes. I'd be cooking, brushing my teeth, scrolling on my phone, and suddenly I was back there, on the cracked pavement, in that impossible alley. But now there were more skeletons, watching me from rooftops, peeking from sewer drains and sitting in the red lawn chair that had once been mine, always staring, silent, waiting. Then my boyfriend changed. He started sleep-talking and murdering things I couldn't understand. Names I didn't know. Some nights, he'd sit up, eyes closed, and smile at the window. "She's closer now," he said one night. "The bones are almost here." When I asked him the next morning, he swore he remembered nothing, laughed it off. But there was dirt under his fingernails, fresh scratches on his palms. Then, one night, I woke up, and he wasn't in bed. I found him outside, in the backyard, barefoot, digging. He didn't turn when I called his name. He just kept scooping soil with his hands. I knelt beside him, trembling. "What are you doing?" His voice was flat, hollow. "She told me where it was buried." What was? He stopped, looked at me, and smiled. "You." I screamed and ran back inside, locked every door. He didn't try to get in. When morning came, he was asleep on the couch, dirty, shivering. And when I showed him the hole in the backyard, he claimed he'd been with his brother all night. Said I was dreaming again and losing it. Maybe I was. Maybe I still am. But I kept the bones from the mat. I sealed them in a box beneath the floorboards, beneath the rug where that first nightmare began. Last night, the box was open. Nothing inside. The dreams aren't dreams anymore. They're visits, warnings, or maybe invitations. Today I saw the red chair again, not in the dream, in real life. On the corner of 5th and Alder, it is placed precisely as it was in the vision, empty, facing east, as if waiting for me. I didn't sit. Not yet. But I know it's only a matter of time. Something was awakened when I asked for that dream. Some part of me died, and something else stepped in. I can feel her, the neighbor, the anger, the bones. They follow me now, waiting for me to sit again, waiting for me to finish what I started. So I'll ask you now, when you pray, do you know who's listening? because I don't think it was God who answered me. And I don't think he can hear me anymore.